Okay, so it's Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. So another CTW. Again, not quite a CTT. I might have time tomorrow morning, but I guess I'm now in the habit of doing this on Wednesdays. I guess that's just what I'm gonna do while I'm here in LA. And then when I go back home, I can actually get in my car and then I can go back to doing these on Thursdays like I'm supposed to. But anyways, um speaking of California, and speaking of cars, I was almost hit by a bus today. Like, I was driving home from work, and as I'm driving, and I know I told that story a couple weeks ago about where, like, I was trying to make a turn, I was trying to get into another lane, and, like, it was my fault. Like, shit happens. This was not my fault at all. Like, I'm making a turn, I complete the turn, I start going straight, I'm in the right hand lane, and then there's like another, I don't even think it was like a lane, it was more just like, here's the curb, and there's a bus there, and the bus is parked. I'm like, all right, people are getting on, I'm going straight. And then the bus just starts moving into my lane, and with where I'm at, I'm like, this thing's gonna hit me if I don't stop. And there was the part of my brain that went, could I just outspeed it? Like, if I go fast enough, could I do this? No, I literally can't, so I stopped. So I didn't get fucking hit by a bus. And I remember thinking to myself, didn't this happen, like, last week or earlier this week? Where I feel like, again, like something was trying to change lanes, where, like, I almost got hit by a bus or by a truck. And it just kind of made me realize I've really almost gotten into accidents a lot more in these past like 4 weeks than I have in the past like 4 years. And like, don't get me wrong, like it's even in Oklahoma, shit happens. Sometimes someone's being a crazy driver. Sometimes the weather is a little weird. Sometimes I do something, or I'm like, that was not the smartest decision. Like, I understand that. But it's like constant out here. Where I'm like, that I've had a lot of close calls. And again, some things are like, all right, that was not the best decision that I made. I'll own that. And other times it's like, dude, people don't use turn signals here. They just kind of go into the lane and assume you're gonna stop for them, and you do, so you don't get into an accident. But it sucks. It's fucking ass. So that's a thing that happened. Another thing that happened, and this is just funny, but I was at a friend's place over the weekend. They actually weren't there, but I was there to do laundry. Like, I asked, they gave me a key and everything. It was fine. Shout out to Matt and Nikki. I really appreciate you guys. Um, as I was doing laundry, because they have a washer and dryer in their garage, I ended up getting locked in the garage because I didn't know it had a lock on it. It was like an electronic thing. I was like, yeah, like I've gone in and out, I've gone in and out, and then it just froze on me, and it was like, oh, I can't use this. Now you might think, well, surely you just texted them to get what like the code was. I didn't have my phone on me either. I think my phone was charging. So I'm like, when I came back inside, did I lock? Excuse me, sorry, I had kind of like a little nap a little bit ago, and I just woke up. It's like, did I lock the door behind me? Because if not, I can just open the garage, walk around to the front door, go inside, and close the garage. If I did lock the door behind me, then I can't access the rest of the house, including my phone. I didn't end up locking the door behind me. Just weird, goofy shit that happened where it wasn't a bad situation. No one got hurt. No one got severely inconvenienced either. It's just this is just what living in California feels like almost every day there's something. Um, I took a walk around like Hollywood and Sunset the other day. It was actually quite lovely. It was about 30, 45 minutes. It's not like I saw the sights or anything. I was just like, all right, what's some of the stuff in the area? Took a couple pictures of some places I might go eat at some point, but I probably won't because I don't really leave my apartment much unless I'm going to work. But I don't know. Maybe at some point we're like, all right, let me go walk down and have some like Caribbean food or have a big greasy burger. We'll see what happens. But speaking of leaving my apartment, sorry, I just thought of Avenue Q and that there is life outside your apartment. It's a great song. Excuse me. This weekend, Saturday, I'm going to be going with some of my friends from law school. We're going to go to Universal. And I'm looking forward to it. Now, I've been to Universal a few times. Once or twice when I was younger. Once I know for sure. I went once in law school, and then I went with my family a couple years ago where I read a lot of Umineko. That was book 4. I might have read a little bit of part 3 as well, but I specifically remember reading book 4 during that trip. Anyways, point. Alright, so I've been to Universal a few times. I enjoy Universal. This is my first time going to Super Nintendo Land. This is actually where I really want to go. And I feel like I said this in a previous video, because I talked about like how we were planning this trip. Disneyland is double the price. And like, yeah, I would rather go to Universal for $100 than go to Disney for $200, because I've been to Disneyland too. I went to Disney also in law school. If I hadn't been to Disney I guess I haven't been in like 10 years now, but if it had been, like I haven't been since I was like 4, I might have been a little bit more willing to do it. But I'm like, alright, I don't have to, it's still expensive, but it's not stupid expensive, and I get to see the Nintendo Park, which I really, really wanted to see. So I'm alright there, so I'm really looking forward to that. And later that night, my little brother is having his 30th birthday, and I think I mentioned before, like, there's a family that I have known since I was a kid. The boys are my brothers, the adults are my second parents, and it's really nice timing. So I'm really looking forward to, like, alright, I'm going to go to Universal in the morning, and I'm going to go see my family that night. I am very much looking forward to Saturday. And I hope that does not become ironic later, where like the meteor comes and I explode or some shit. But I'm currently very much looking forward to Saturday. Work seems to be calming down a little bit. It was just a lot of shit going on at once, but it seems like there's still a lot of stuff. That's kind of how it is being a lawyer. But I feel like it's starting to slow down a bit, which means we're able to really get caught up on a lot of stuff. So again, hopeful the next few weeks. I don't want to say stress-free. That's just not the nature of the beast. But easier to handle, you know, kind of stuff. Let's see. I got a few of those tier lists done. I got my reading tier list done. I got my game tier list done. So I still need to do one for shows and movies. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I theoretically have time this afternoon. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it today. Excuse me. I really don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow or Friday. And like I just said, I'm kind of spoken for on Saturday. Maybe on Sunday. We'll see. Maybe these last 2, I will just wait until I get back. It just kind of depends on timing. I did finally get back into working on Severance, which is the visual novel. Its progress has been very slow. Partly because I'm like, I want to write this. I know I need to write this. But I'm just like so tired. Like I don't have the mental wherewithal to be able to sit down and start reading and editing and writing more new shit. There have been times I'm like, all right, I'm going. Okay, I know I'm going to have to do a lot of touching up right here. And like I just said, I don't have the capacity right now for this. But it's starting to go a bit. There are 3 big chapters, both in terms of the fact that they are very long. They have the longest 3 in the story. And also just, sorry, my point is trying to say there are 3 big chapters that need work on them. Big because long, and also because the rest of it, I've looked at before. And while I can see there's some things that are going to need to be touched up, though the next, after these three, it's what? Five, I think? Four of them should be pretty smooth sailing. One of them is going to, like, need a new scene. These are the three that I feel like kind of needed the most work. And even the current chapter, it's not that it needed a super amount of work, it's just long as fuck. So, hopefully, I can get back into the habit of working on Severance and writing Severance. And like, oh, right. I talked about this when I was talking about the video game tier lists, because there were a good amount that I ended up just dropping. And it was, am I playing this? I talked about this with reading as well. It's like, is this something I'm doing because I want to or because I feel like I should? And if it's something for pure entertainment, if I'm doing it because I feel like I should, that only gets me so far. If it's like, all right, a lot of people recommended this. I'm not super interested, but let me give it a shot. Then if it genuinely hooks me, I'm like, okay, now I want to, I'm in. But if it's like, I still don't give a shit after this much time, I would rather spend my time doing something else. Right now, I am more in the, I'm messing with Severance because I should. Less because I want to. I don't have that level yet. But this is not just entertainment. This is the thing I love doing. So I don't mind having to force myself to do it, because I know I'm going to get to that point here, because I've gotten to that point with this story several times. And even just like thinking about it, like looking at like a lot of the artwork we have and just a lot of the shit that happens in the story, it's like the love is here. I'm just tired. But again, hoping that sticking with it, like starting to be consistent again, will help. I did finish 1,000 Year Door. I have my notes ready to go. Sorry, like I said, tired. I have my notes ready to go. I don't know when I'll record it. I'm tentatively planning on, like, as soon as I'm done recording this, I'll just start recording 1,000 Year Door video. But I don't know, like, it was a long time before I finally recorded that Slate of Princess one, so who the fuck knows? But short version, yeah, I fucking love 1,000 Year Door. It's a game I already really liked, wanted to replay, and then when I said, cool, they're going to do a remake, let me just wait for the remake. Didn't get to it last year, because it is what it is. Played it, loved it. Can't wait to talk about it. Is that it? That's pretty much it. There's only one other thing I can think of. And I'll admit, this is kind of a bittersweet thing to talk about, but it's interesting. So a couple nights ago, I think it was like when I woke up on Monday or when I woke up yesterday, I don't remember which. But I remember having this dream. Have you ever heard the song Leave Out All the Rest by, what's it, Green Day? By Linkin Park? The song is, Chester is saying, like, I dreamed I was missing, you were so scared, no one would listen, no one else cared. After my dreaming, I woke with this fear, what am I leaving when I'm done here? That's the opening lyrics. And I had a dream very similar to that, where I don't know, like, what was going on, but, like, I think I, like, faked my own death. I don't know. I was, like, trying to avoid the IRS or some shit. I don't know what the context was, but I had faked my own death and was seeing the reactions of the people I know, like my family, my friends. And I remember just how heartbreaking it was. And I remember that feeling I had when I woke up. And, like, I wasn't crying or anything, but it was just kind of that, I'm so lucky to have people that I know would care about me if something happened to me. Like, if I was gone, I know there are people who would miss me. And honestly, that shows a lot of the growth I've had the last few years. Because in like 2020 and 2021, like, I could easily identify, it's like, yeah, these are people who love me, these are people who care about me. I, like, know they would miss me, but I wouldn't believe it, you know? It's like, yeah, like, I know they'll be sad, but I can't fathom as to why. And now I'm like, no, like, I know they would miss me, and I would never put them in that situation because I don't want them to have to. Like, if shit happens, shit happens. Like, if I get hit by a meteor, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not trying to get hit by a meteor. I almost got hit by a bus. I wasn't trying to get hit by the bus. I took steps once I saw the problem to make sure I did not get hit by the bus. But, I don't know. Like I said, like, it's kind of bittersweet. Like, I'm not, like, it was a sad dream in, like, circumstances, but it's like, I don't want people to miss me because that means they would be sad. And if there's people I love, I don't want them to be sad. But I'm really happy that I know there's people who care and that I am at a place where I don't have to doubt that. I can just receive and accept the fact that they love me. That's really nice. Reminds me of, like, one of my favorite quotes. I feel like I brought it up recently. Like, I know I was talking to a friend about it, a couple friends about it actually, in like totally different context. But it's Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if this is actually in any of the movies, but I know it's in the book. I want to say it's how the book ends. I've actually never read Winnie the Pooh, so I don't know. But it's a line from Pooh, which is, "How lucky am I to have people that make saying goodbye so hard." Maybe it's not people, like things that make saying goodbye, but it's, how lucky am I to have people who make saying goodbye so hard? And I think it's beautiful. And that's kind of the sentiment I had after that dream. Like I said, it's bittersweet, but I feel like the feeling I left it with was a lot more sweet because I'm overall a lot less bitter. Is there anything else? I know the new like Kodaka game, like this demo just came out, which I still need to freaking play Raincoat. Now that I'm done with Thousand Year Door, I can theoretically play Raincoat. But I really need to get work done on Severance. I also brought a book with me. I brought a couple. Like, I brought Seconds, and I read Seconds. And I brought In the Name of the Wind, because I have a friend who recommended it to me, so I want to read it at some point. I still am going to read that Gender Bent Twilight book. I brought it so I can read it. And I was like, I'm going to do this after Thousand Year Door. And here I am after Thousand Year Door. I feel like maybe after I finish this one chapter in Severance, we'll see where we're at. If I'm in a, okay, I made good progress, but I'm just still not as into writing right now as I would like to be. Happens, understandable. We can read Twilight. If I'm like, I want to keep writing, then I will keep writing. And maybe still read Twilight. Oh, damn, sorry. It's such a funny idea. Of like, yeah, I took this book that was this like bestseller, like global phenomenon, and then I just changed the genders and the names and like the ending a little bit. It's like I changed the ending so I don't have to write 4 of these. It's either the funniest thing, the laziest thing, or both at the same time, and I'm not sure which yet. I'm in both camps because there's a part of me that says that's just lazy. what do you mean this worked? What do you mean the publisher said, yeah, we'll do it, and it made money? I'm almost kind of offended. But also, that's pretty funny. And I can, because I brought it up before. The reason I know this exists is I saw a meme where someone was like talking about this. It's like gender swap Twilight, like the dommy mommy vampire and the like muscle mommy werewolf for fighting over you. And the comment was just, oh, I get it now. And I thought it was just a meme. I didn't know it was real. So I don't know. Maybe I'll read it and think, yeah, I get it now. Or I'll read it and go, nah, this still made it. But I think it's an interesting experiment. And I guess I'll check it out soon. But that's it. I think that's all for this week. Have a double yawn. I thought it was done. I'll see you later. Unless, like, God forbid, I get hit by a bus for real this time. It stops being almost. Bye.